Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Richard Hoffman's request for discovery against FINRA, the DTCC and also Fidelity. Then we're going to be doing an update on some shipping stocks that were covered in the previous video. So before we make a start, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the markets. And we can see here the US stock markets are reversing losses after opening lower. So in terms of the consumer price index, we can see this was up 0.5% and inflation grew to around about 6.4%. So not as bad as figure as expected. So in terms of an overall response from the market, fairly mixed. Let's first of all have a look at some key updates. So the first one here is an update from John Berder, and he's just recently posted here. Happy to report that congressional outreach is working. Fair markets now. Keep up the campaigns as they are being heard. I was on a call yesterday with attorneys for the rep we have been working with. So that's great news. The MMTLP story is spreading inside the Capitol. Keep pushing. So in the previous video, we also shared a letter from one of the Congress members who is pushing for this as well. And in terms of a key reminder here, we have a target 7-day campaign. So today was the campaign to protest against the SEC. Yesterday it was FINRA, and tomorrow, maybe the time you're watching this video, will be the day to contact your brokers and make your voices heard. And one of the posts I've shared today with regard to the SEC is asking them to obviously investigate illegal trading of a stock, excessive naked shorting, failed to deliver millions of synthetic shares used to destroy investor portfolios, millions of shorts not closed, shorts not going into private company, and an unexplained U3 halt. And if you would like to get a screenshot of some legal issues that you may want to refer, take a copy of this. Let's now have a look at Richard Hoffman's request for discovery. So shout out here to Richard, who posted earlier today. Please note that legal efforts continue in the background. So we're going to now have a look at the case in question. So before I make a start on this, just to remind everybody that this is not legal advice as well as not financial advice, and this is just my opinion of this case presented. So obviously go ahead and do your own due diligence, but if we have a look at this, this is in the Superior Court of the State of California in the County of Los Angeles, and it is a request for production of documents by Richard Hoffman, who is the plaintiff, against the defendants, who are Fidelity, FINRA and also the DTCC. So the defendants have approximately 30 days to respond. However, I do expect a response normally within 14 days. So it could be fairly imminent. So we will stay tuned in terms of some updates from Richard. But the other thing to bear in mind in terms of point number 2 in the preliminary definitions here, we can see that the parties will be referred to as broker-dealers, market makers, but also quite interesting here, not limited to GST, Ari Rubenstein, Ken Griffin, Abby Johnson. So great news here in terms of Richard. He is naming names, he is calling them out. These are the people that we want investigated, and he's also including AST, FINRA, the DTCC and the SEC, and obviously the case in terms of preliminary definition point number 3, MMTLP is also referred to as the subject stock. So just in case there is any doubt, the judge should be clear here that all of these probably got some insight and useful information for us to present our case. So continuing here in terms of categories of documents requested, we can see here number 1, documents generated by Fidelity from January the 1st, 2022 with regard to the plaintiff, which will be Richard Hoffman, for MMTLP in his Fidelity account. Number 2, all documents received from the plaintiff with regard to MMTLP, also from January the 1st. Number 3, any and all documents sent by Fidelity to the plaintiff are not limited to any corporate action notices from FINRA or the DTCC. Number 4, any and all documents sent by Fidelity, but not limited to AST, also from January the 1st, 2022. So Richard is certainly not leaving any stones unturned, and we can see here number 5 and onwards, he's also requesting all documents sent to and from FINRA, sent to and from the DTCC, and sent to and from the SEC, sent to and from from AST, and right at the bottom is also asking for documents sent to and from Nexbridge Hydrocarbons. So in case there is information not available in one area, it certainly should be available in the other. So continuing here, number 15, any and all documents from Fidelity's compliance department that reflect them having not permitting people to buy MMTLP shares, and why that may be the case. Number 16, all documents with regard to Fidelity's compliance department looking at people not permitting or being permitted to buy shares of MMTLP from June the 1st, 2021. The list of all current shareholders of MMTLP at Fidelity in terms of the share count. This is something that the brokers have been quite reluctant to provide. Also, a list of current shareholders with the share count of MMTLP in terms of the 6th of February 2023. The next interesting thing here is point number 24, and he's also requested here all documents received by Fidelity from the Department of Justice, and these are also going back to June the 1st, 2021. All documents sent by Fidelity to the Department of Justice. Then obviously is including all written customer inquiries received by Fidelity, all subpoenas received by Fidelity, which they may have received many but kept them obviously quiet. Number 28, a complete list of names and case numbers for any lawsuits filed against Fidelity with regard to MMTLP. There may be other cases ongoing, but we may not be aware of them. And number 29, any and all audits performed by Fidelity with regard to the number of shares. Number 30, all documents that reflect the amount of MMTLP shares held at the DTCC from June the 1st, 2021. And number 31, any and all Form 211s permitted MMTLP shares to be tradable. So that one is certainly one that would interest John Berder. And documentation with regard to Form 211 will certainly give us a clue who actually included the information and which were the market makers confirmed to do this. Finally, in the last section here, number 32, he's also requested all documents from June the 1st, 2021 that reflect that the third parties that made MMTLP tradable. So I'm assuming this includes ARI, it also includes GST and the other market makers as well. Number 33, any and all communications between Fidelity, MMTLP, and the names are now out. We're looking at Ari Rubenstein, Ken Griffin, Steve Cohen, especially where MMTLP was discussed. Any and all documents held by Fidelity as to the number of MMTLP shares held by Fidelity at right now in terms of June the 1st, 2021 to current time. And finally, all documents held by Fidelity to ascertain if there were any naked, synthetic and illegal short MMTLP shares on Fidelity's books of accounts. So remember, the brokers are still officially denying naked shorting, they're denying synthetic shares, they're denying illegal trading. I think we do certainly know that it happened, but we do need proof and confirmation, especially from the brokers. And finally, I'd like to finish off by giving a shout out to our weekly watch list. One of the focus this week was on shipping stocks. So these are some of the ones that we called out with the belief that the outlook for shipping certainly is becoming much more positive. So we looked at tick symbol SB, FRO, ASC and also DHT, which reported positive earnings. So if we look at SB, that was up approximately 1% on the previous 5 days so far, currently trading level, possibly a buying opportunity. The other one was ARD. Today is up in excess of 9% and up in excess of 11% on the week, so that one's doing quite well. DHT, the one with excellent earnings, again up close to 2% today and also up approximately 28% on the previous 5 days, so great returns there on that one. And the final one we're looking at is FRO. That's up 2.17% at time of editing and also up in excess of 13% on the week. So great cause there for the shipping stock. So finally, if you'd like to get the next weekly watch list, you can certainly join us in the Discord for less than $9 a month. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.